I want to start reading a line of Wikipedia page about Hung or Hung Kuen, how we call it. Hung came kind of lately, and it wasn't used at Master Chan's gym. We called it Hung Kuen, and I keep calling it Hung Kuen because it's my way of knowing it. So there's a page on Wikipedia where that says that the hallmarks of the Wang Fei Hung lineage of Hung are deep, low stances, notably the Saiping Ma horse stance, and strong hand techniques, notably the bridge hand and the versatile tiger claw. In my opinion, this is just bullshit. Sorry. There's no evidence, no documentation that proves that the Hung style was based on low, strong, deep stances. The few documents that we have, we have nothing about Wang Fei Hung. We have the design and a few pictures of Lam Se-wing, my grandfather. We have a few movies, little parts of movies of my master Chan Hon Chung, but I have in my memory months and months and months. So living with Mr. Chan Hon Chung from 1977 to the shutdown of his gym, and I never saw him in a deep, low, strong stance. So this thing came out later. It's something that came out, in my opinion, during the late 70s, early 80s, especially in the States and in Europe even later, when the Chinese Kung Fu started spreading around, and there was probably some competition with the already eradicated Japanese Shotokan karate, which was already on the aesthetic side of doing the long stroke positions to show, to look tough and different. But in fact, what I learned from Master Chan Hon Chung has nothing to do with low, deep, strong stances position. We have stances, we have strong stances, but mostly we have very efficient, dynamic, and active stances that I want to cover today in this brief video that I hope you will understand and make some things more clear, especially for people who didn't have the great honor and luck that I had to learn the thing from the real, original, best possible source in the world, so Master Chan Hon Chung. So let's go to our usual action spot with the background of my library. This is Italian design that you probably, I don't know, the Italians might know. And it's my pride and joy, so I'm happy to have it as my background. So, stances. So, of course, it's so good to look at somebody that does the Saiping Ma, the low Saiping Ma, or even, they also, from time to time, they lean like that. That looks good. This looks so good, and then maybe them lean like that, and then, they do stuff like this or stuff like this, and it's so great to see. But let me tell you, it has nothing to do with what was taught back in the days at 729 8th Road in Hong Kong, because there, things were different. Now, I will cover a couple of things. The first thing will be the 3 basic stances as they were taught. Just please consider that back in the days, there was no theory discussion. People came in, they put you in the stances. We started just from the first day from the forms, And for imitation, we saw the stances, and the only way was that. Also for the Chinese, not only for me that I couldn't speak Chinese, but also for the Chinese people, not much talking. So what I am telling you is just an elaboration of what I learned. It's a way to explain it. And for the 2Ks people, which are different from the way from us back in the days, because back in the days we really were available to work much more, understand less. The stances come from a consideration of the circular nature of the Hung style, which starts from the basics, the techniques of back in the days was the Hung Kuen, and now then they added the Mui Fakin, which is short and easier, and that are just pure technique. And so you practice your stance, and you punch, you do stuff, and then you move to a higher level, which is the level of the animals and the elements. So it's where you start the Fu Hok Sen Yin Kun and the Sap Yin Kun, and where there is this wonderful allegory of the animals that do nothing else that reinforce the concepts that you had with the first forms, and add some extra allure, some extra fancy stuff, some to make it even more pleasant, more efficient to pass the basic concepts to the consciousness of the practitioner. So you, through the wings of the crane, you understand how to get into the opponent's guard and open it and gain your space with this wonderful idea of the P-bridge, and open and strike. So this is not just for show. This is a way to enforce the concepts. But then, after the Sapien Kun, you go to the Tisin Kun, that goes back all the way and goes back to the pure technique, which this time is the concept that subdues everything, and this is the basic concept. And so you see that the stances change and go back to their conceptual idea, but just once you have mastered what you have to master, and you can use them, and then you go back, and then you keep on the circle. So you start again with the forms, and then you reconsider all the forms under the light of what the Tisin made you understand. And so you will see that you will change everything again, and on and on and on, until you finish on a wheelchair or in your, or you're dead and in the skies with the celestial drum people. But now we go back to the form, to our stances. So we start with the Seiping Ma. So where's the point of the Seiping Ma? The best way to execute the correct Seiping Ma is going like this. So you open your feet, starting from the heels, it's not just 1, 2, 3, it's 1, 2, 3, because there's no 1, and then it's 2, 3. Why? Because we try not to keep the weight on the heels. So if you need to open the toes, it's just a moment, a passage moment, and we try to stay up and light, And then here we are in our Seiping Ma. So all the Kung Fu stances and the Hung style stances have some 3 basics. So the first basic is there is always a combat line in the middle. This is the line where our action is aimed, which is the line where we'll work around this line, but we have the straight combat line, and the feet stay on the sides of the combat line. They never invade the other space. In every stance, never. They never stay in the combat line. Well, there is a few exceptions, but they're just, as I said in the other videos about Tisinku, one of the 27 videos of the Tisinku. So we stay there, and we said, line, combat line. Second, the weight is distributed on the forefoot, on the front of the foot. The heel touches the ground, but I should say it caresses the ground, because there's no weight, nearly no weight. There's just a slight touch. Why? Because this is the only way that helps us, that let us move with the minimum possible movements. So if we have the weight back and we are sitting down, as I see in those stance, and think about an opponent that coming to punch you, and you are sitting on this absurd stance, you cannot react. But if your weight is correctly positioned on the front foot, it's just a matter of invading the space, and you're right there. It's just a matter of small expansion. The center of gravity goes forward, and you're in. Okay, so this is the second principle. Third principle, and then we're done. There is a triangle. So you think as this line of the combat line, and there is the two lines that start from our hips, and they try to make a triangle to the line ends at our target. Okay, so with the opponent's face, nose, whatever, weak point, and there is two other lines that the sides of the triangle that goes to the same position. So this triangle must be as much isosceles as possible. So when on the other cut line, we will nearly never have, one lost hip. All our hips will be always pointed as much as they can toward the upper. So let's see how to move from our setting ma. So if we stand the setting ma, the legs don't listen to people that say that you have to open the legs, stay low the stuff, because the knees should cover your toes. So it's just it's comfortable. It's a sense that's comfortable. Let's say, but this just trains your leg. Listen, if we want to train our legs, there's a million better ways to strengthen our legs. We can do push-ups, we can do lateral push-ups, whatever we do. We can work with the leg press, we can do jumps, we can work with the kettlebells. We can do a lot of stuff, but staying there, every professional trainer will tell you that staying in a steady position, isotonic and casted, frozen, is bad, doesn't work. It's just only to put some lactic acid in your muscles and make them tough and hard. So it's just, let's skip. So the home style is about activity, is about reactivity, is about efficiency. And so let's do that. So, Saibima, we move to Tingma. The idea of the Tingma is that we have an attack coming from one of the sides, and so this is how we change, how we shift from the position. And so what we do is we have the basic way to reach it that we learn in the Hung Kuen. That's funny because we learn it at the end of the circle, but there is a reason, and we've covered it in the videos about the Hung Kuen. So from here, we just here, and we put intention, sight, and then we shift the weight, and we're there in the Tingma. So what's the difference with Tingma? Let's say that there are a few principles. That there is the combat line in the middle. I don't go through it. So I had to shift, thanks to this, for not saying, because if I just turn, my feet makes a T, and it's not good because there's no balance. I need some space, some base. I said that the feet are converging. The actual basic says that should be 90 degrees, which is really impossible and never used it. The idea is that the front feet points inward as much as possible and the rear feet points forward as much as possible. Anyway, they are never, ever, for no reason, divergent. So, the concept of using a front foot pointing forward and the rear foot pointing outward to reach a lower stance is wrong. I mean, is no home style. In a home style, you can reach a low stance, just keeping the stance correct. But we don't want it. It's not kosher. Okay, it's not a kosher position in our stance, in our style. So this is it. So you can practice those stance like this, and then on the other side, and always remember that we consider this idea of having the opponent. So sensation, we hear something happening, intention, we start putting intention there, sight, and there. And please remember that all the movements start from the waist, okay? From the waist, not from the legs, because if we move the legs, we are stuck and there's no action. This is it. And we're saying Segui Ma, let's do it correctly, and we're saying Ting Ma, and then we see Beng Ting Ma, which is the same thing, but with the most weight on the rear foot. Okay, so on the side and the other side, just like that. Remember, please, that even so, doing the very low stance, maybe even going forward to to reach something that you cannot reach. I cannot. I weigh 90 kilograms, so it's for me. Despite I'm quite well trained, but it's hard to put 90 kilograms on one leg with devastated knees. But anyway, it's not efficient. So as you see in all the pictures of Tentima, the old masters are quite odd because Tentima, and this is the new concept that we can have, the stances are basically the same thing with a difference in the position of the weight. So we have mostly 50-50 Tingma, Segui-ma, sorry. We have slightly forward aimed Tingma, and then we have a slightly backward weighted Tingma. But what we want to understand and feel is that the stances are nearly all the same, and this is it. So we've seen the positions, and there's a discussion about the rear leg of Tingma. The very straight knee is bad for the health. So just let it go a little, okay, and keep it always dynamic. So where's the movement? The movement comes not from pushing the legs and doing stuff, but from moving the center of gravity. If you want to go forward, you go forward and then you have it. If you want to go backward, you're there. It's all a matter of P, okay? Invade. And remember that also when you're going backward, you do not surrender. You do not give back volume of space. You just change your position, and most of the time you always move around the attack line to shift it a little. Okay, so this is the way. A better way for reaching the positions we've seen it in Hung Kuen is just using the center of gravity, slightly moving it, and to help the waist move the whole thing that stays up. So, for instance, as in this Kuen, then we have this that goes this. And what we do is that we just move slightly the weight on the rear leg to unload your front leg, and we are ready to go in, you know. And then we are ready again to go in with a shift of your waist, and this is our triangle. But as you see, also in this segment, my triangle is there. It's not, if you do a segment like this, also like this, or even planing, which is so good looking, but you have no way of using the energy of your waist for going to the opponent. Okay? So again, let's see it, how we can translate, and we can train our stances in a correct way. Let's go forward. You can go backward. You can move here. Just use your center of gravity. You can move here and then there, you know. And the idea is that your waist stays on the same line. You're always around on the sides of an attack line, and your stances are always elastic, active, and efficient. So every stance is never steady and frozen. There's always the Lao bridge. That is our mantra. So the Lao bridge is that this is the active, relaxed. We do this, we are relaxed, but active. We are ready for, you know, moving or just striking. And the less movement we do, the better it is. And for this, we'll go back to our full hawk. To Sapien Kuen, because in Sapien Kuen we have the tigers that are introduced, the basic tigers that we have in the full hawk. We have them with a wonderful addendum, which is the two black tigers at the beginning, you know. And so, as you remember, this black tiger, and then this black tiger, and then we have the double claw and then the single claw. Okay. So, what you usually see is that the tigers are executed like this. So it's something like 1 and 2, and then is 1 and 2, and then we go there, and we go this, and then this is the word that I hate that goes. So let's count them. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So just think at my opponent who has an angry truck driver, you know, big, you know, kind of big muscle, big belly, beer drinker, hell raiser, who, okay, I've done this, but his friends, we just win them. But here, the truck driver is coming, and so what we do is 1, 2. And let's think that we could kind of block it, we do something with the truck driver. But surely, when we go 3 with this, and then with this, we're fucked. I mean, we'll be punchable. So this is why, in spite of the necessity of being respectful of the form, what we have to do after mastering the Tissing Kuen, but even before, just when we put all our consciousness in the training, is that trying to understand what we're doing. And what we're doing is being as more efficient and as quicker as possible. So this first black tiger is like this, and the second The second black tiger is this, it's the idea is that what we move is the waist, and when you go, we have to go there, it's not a matter of going stomp, stomp, it's just a matter of invading and striking. And when we need to go even further, it's not a matter of doing stomp, stomp and wasting energy. It's just that we are going there with our center of gravity. So what we do is that from here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of 8, And this is what the stances are about, and then what doing the stances with consciousness of the important things that are the feet, the weight on the feet, and the center of gravity matters. Because if you use the center of gravity, you do not need to do steps, and we are here, and you load your hip, and the hip is like a spring that goes there, and then there is the spring, and then that's there, that's boom, boom, it's right there, and then here again is already there, and that's it, and you can train it the same way when you train your Tsingma like this, and then you go like this, and this is just the way you want to move. You do not need for going in Tsingma from here to do stuff like boom, boom. It's natural. It's the waist and the center of gravity. This is, so please, when you practice the forms, consider that every movement starts from the waist, from the center of gravity, and not from the hands. What the hands do has no meaning. Once you got an hold of the space of the opponents, you are in. There's no reason why you should not do whatever you want. This is not a problem of one hand that the block is. You don't block it, you just get in. You have this control of the space, which is the what you need to win the contest. I think that mostly this is it. I strongly suggest you seeing few videos around from time to time. I confess I don't watch much, but from time to time I see stuff, and I see people concentrating, training the home style, concentrating on the movements, like with the Kong Chi Fo Kokun, like they go bang, 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 then they go pop, tuck, chum, 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 and then hop, hoop, which is actually has no meaning. Think of when we finish this part, and then we have the tiger is not like pam, pam, pam. It's just the whole thing, and then it goes back and forth. And then when we turn the other side and we go, and that's it. And then when we do this, and then we do this, and I see people doing this, and then doing this. Why? This is boom, the enemy is there. So you start, your center of gravity turns, and you turn everything, and you're there. If you don't turn, you go, bam, bam, bam. I mean, you're dead. You lost one time. 1, 2, 3. You're dead. You're done. Just go, 1. And that's it. So, I hope I gave you something you can reflect. Let's see what do you think of the idea that the Duma could be an implied kick. Well, dear friend Keen, all stances are kick. I mean, all this. What I want to say is that the kick or the tiger are not important. What is important is your gain of the control of the situation. So if you're in a good second month, you kick, and you are and things, it's the same. You can also kick from here. It's just a little shift, or you can kick with the rear leg. But the kick is not the issue. The issue is what you're doing. Is your way of getting control. Is the total consciousness of your body. Is the idea of using your whole body and not one end, one kick. Is the idea of staying focused on getting control of the space. And this is even much more important when training the forms. Because if you train the form without the idea of the real combat, what will you end up to do will be training the form very low, that looks pretty. I cannot forget the guy that showed the picture of himself. He teaches home style. He puts on the internet a picture of Ting Ma like this, and very low, very even lower, something like that. And I said, but I mean, you teach your own style. You pretend of being of this lineage of ours, but this is wrong. And he replied, well, this was just a shot I put on to show the t-shirt of our school. Yes, but the idea is that even if you have to put on the t-shirt, the adult t-shirt of your school, what you want to do is a correct stance. Okay, you want to exaggerate a little, you want to make it a little more cynic, and do it more ballet-like, but you cannot do a wrong stance, because the idea is that in the correct stance, your whole body is into the action. And this stupid thing, there's no action but your arms and legs. That I tell you, you can train, do your something for hit the wooden dummy, put your hands in the sand, do whatever you like. But if you use only your arms or your kick without putting it on your body, you will be weak and you will be overcome. You don't need to destroy your knuckles hitting the sand if you just can't get hold of your opponent. There's no reason. And the real speed does not come from millions of hours of training, which are good if they are accomplished properly in a modern training way. But surely the efficiency, your efficiency, does not come from that. It comes from the full understanding that the efficiency comes from a full, correct, holistic use of your body. Let me see if there's some probability that those who codify the modern wushu, so the commercial success of Shotokan, they introduced the use of very low stance, imitating the Japanese standard. I totally agree with Bruno. It's marketing. I totally agree with Bruno. It's marketing, and I've been practicing Shotokan karate from 1970 to 1975, reaching some black belts and the stuff. And I remember this thing, this thing was, it wasn't really, it wasn't different. It was this thing in the pictures, this thing. And then we went, get on the right, and even we didn't open our wrist. It was this. And then from here, we had to kick. And so it was like this. And where's the point of this thing? So if in an efficient, realistic, and original, traditional kosher position, your tema is just, it's a position where you can easily kick without moving stuff. From here, you have to do this, you have to go up and kick, and this was, and also, when from this, they wanted to do their circular kick, and it was, well, now it's 67, it's quite hard to accomplish, but the idea was that, wow, and this was nothing reasonable. I hope I hope I could give you some good suggestions so you can consider, and you can work out some new ways of exercising your home style, and especially if you are part of my honorable and beloved lineage, where unfortunately the marketing has always been forgotten, and luckily been forgotten. So it's not today, is not as popular as other lineages, but still there is an heritage of value and consciousness of the home style that from Master Chan Hon Chung legacy that must be respected. So please get to respect it, and try to follow his wonderful, wise teaching that is, be conscious of your body, be conscious of what you are doing, be conscious of the meanings, and remember, you cannot block the angry, tough truck driver, beer drinker, and hellraiser just doing, just this with a grinny face, and then doing, wow. It will kick your ass before you can even stomp your foot to do something good looking. So consider always having in front not your very generous colleague of training that lets you put your punch and you adjust the punch, and then you say, okay, and here I come with the big peak of the crane, which actually is wings, but most people say it's beak. It's not beak. It's the wing. And so the wing, and then I catch him, and the throwing. No, just get over the space, punch him in the eyes before he can do anything. And for doing this, you have to have good position, good stances, and train your forms, always thinking at what the real meaning of what you're doing. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this, and stay safe, keep washing your hands, put on your mask, do whatever you need to do for escaping this menacing, horrible virus. And I will be online. I will let you know, because I want to be online one more time on this topic with the idea of reconsidering the forms under the light of the good comprehension of the stances. So let me see. Thank you very much. Thank you for all of you who attended this. This will be online on my YouTube channel, so it will be easy to find again. Okay, stay safe. Bye.